Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So so usually people in academia, they use a lot of gender neutral terms. The only thing a birthing person means, like, you can take offense to it. I'm just saying, like, the only thing a birthing person means, that means that a woman, a cisgender woman, can be a person that gives birth, but a trans man can also be a person that gives birth. So when they say that, they're talking about different types of people. So, like, you have to understand, like, there's another world that does not use the language that we use. What she just said is not offensive. Just like if you don't use the term birthing person and you just say mother, that's also not necessarily offensive. So
Or just say woman.
we have to allow these terms to be used and not take offense to it as if she's doing something to anyone. She's not. That is a term that is used.
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't take
realize
offense.
that
to
you
anything.
just can't say woman. Like, what's
I mean, I just saw
birthing
your
person?
face, that's all.
Yeah,
Like,
the
oh,
face I made because, well, today we had, well, I don't know if it was today, it might have been yesterday, but there was
Birthing person just means a transgender man is included. Saying that's all she's saying.
a
You
woman.
like
I understand the
we're in
entire.
a day and
Oh,
age.
not a woman.
It's
Not a
transgender
woman.
man.
A female, but not a woman. That is completely
Yeah.
different.
Born
Yeah.
female, transgendered into trans man.
Or maybe
That's
even
it.
not
different.
transgender,
A
just is
female is just
born
a person
female,
that
but just doesn't identify as a woman.
female reproductive
That's
organs.
that's all the birth person means.
Yeah.
That's all the birth
And we
person
don't
means.
have to go through this. Like, we're not gonna go down this rabbit hole. My point is, you have to allow this language to exist around you. You do not have to use it if you do not want to. You don't have to take part in those types of conversations. But when you hear it, I don't want you to be all confused.
So, Bo, here's the thing, though. I just want to make this one statement, and then I want M. White to finish because he's been trying to finish. What I have a very important question of, and I mean this like with all authenticity. I do not mean this to sound shady, right? How Dr. Lady O brought up the average lifespan of a person. If we take into account the average lifespan of a person, but we also get the opportunity to talk to the up and coming generation. If things bother you about the up and coming generation, understand you don't have to live with them. You're finna go.
Look.
So, why are we trying to change what they got going on?
We're not trying to.
If you're 23 and you want to say birthing person, and that bothers somebody that may be 40, 50, 60, they don't. No, not you. I wasn't bringing it up towards you, Dr. Lady. I was saying how you brought up life expectancy. When you brought up lifespan, I think about things like that. And I don't mean it in a shady way, but it's always like a generation's past or have something against the next generation. But I'm like, you realize that they have every right to make this world the world they want to live in, because they're going to have to live in it the longest. Not like the 50s and the 60-year-olds. If it's weird to them, that's cool, but it's not weird to the generation that's coming up. And that's how they want to live their life.
I get what you're saying, but understand, but they're also leaving faster. Hold on, but they're also leaving faster than we are.
Why are y'all laughing at me? Because I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. I really am asking.
To say that. But I get what you're saying, though. We are almost out of here.
Yes,
right?
yo.
And that's what God is true. We are getting older.
I'm really not saying it to be disrespectful, but that's like how y'all probably, as Gen Xers and millennials, probably felt about like the silent generation trying to tell y'all this is weird, this is wrong, and you're like, this isn't your world anymore. It's mine. I run this.
What's confusing
for like Gen Z to feel that way?
I want to say something real quick. So
let M. White finish.
Okay, I'm sorry, M. White. Go ahead.
Because what I'm hearing is men can have kids too.
Well, if they change over to a woman.
Yes. Okay. So the speech, I just want to be clear. I didn't even realize that I said it. Like, I still do not know for sure if I did or didn't, but I do my best to use inclusive language. But can men have children? It depends on what you think a man is. If I say, hey, I identify as a man, then okay. Why am I going to argue with that? First of all, let's really talk about trans people. Trans people are less than 1% of the population. They are 0.7% of the American population, and even less globally. So I try my best not to even get into trans issues, but I still want to use gender inclusive terms because everyone on this panel uses gender inclusive terms. When you see a jacket that someone left at your job or at the bus stop, what do you say? Someone left their jacket. I hope they find it. Like, everyone uses gender inclusive terms. You don't know if that was a man or a woman. I don't see how being inclusive. I don't see how being inclusive is crazy. And I want to address something someone said about the Black community is cooked. The Black community is doing great. Even with our prominent single motherhood, the Black community is doing great. Are we doing as good as we should be? No. But a new study
I think I'm on the wrong panel.
First off, I think we should give credit where
I thought I was talking right now.
I think we should give credit where credit is due for Black people. I'm sorry.
And White was talking, okay? Let him White go.
I'll continue.
Just let him finish up. Robin single, mom. Oh.
Robin single.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Let me make it up.
M. White, please go. Marcus, go.
I was trying to get to a point 20 minutes ago before everyone decided that it was time to speak while I was talking, and it was time to interject and say what they thought I was saying. In the very beginning, I understood what the term meant. I disagree with using it, and I disagree in totality because, in my personal opinion, it feels like the emperor's new clothes. We know something is a thing, and we're pretending that we don't see it. We're all pretending that we see an outfit, and we know that that outfit does not exist. So when we're discussing men and women, it's only one definition in my understanding. And I've never seen a man.
No, is that my internet or yours?
No, Marcus.
Sure.
Froze, man.
Everybody, he froze for everybody.
He froze for everybody. Yeah. So I got a question. Why are we talking about masculine roles and what man is supposed to do, man supposed to provide, when everybody believe in all these different gender roles? Because if that's the case, then like there's no point in having these conversations.
I want to be 100% honest with you, saying a lot of people aren't having these conversations under like 35 or 40. They're not. Like, when you go on the younger side of social media, they're dancing, they're listening to music, they're on there for shits and giggles. They're not talking about the dating pool. They don't care about submission. That, like, these are things that matter to the older people on social media, not like old, but older people. Like, and it feels weird because it's like, I really actually like having you on here tonight. Like, this is my first time meeting you because I feel like I've said that. I've said a lot of things you're saying, and I feel like it's being received better just because you're a man. Like, it's coming off a little bit sexist. I'm not gonna lie, because I've been like, why are we talking about this? Like, the next generation coming up doesn't care about marriage. They're not really trying to have kids out of the wazoo. Like, they're not sitting up here having, and then I get these responses like, well, that doesn't mean we shouldn't care. And that's like saying we don't care about our kids. But how many of your kids are actually sitting there being like, they're rooting for this and this and that we're on here talking about? That's not what they're talking about. That's not what's at the forefront of their mind. If you want to talk to them about things they care about, then you would actually have to stop calling the things that they care about stupid and listen and then talk to them about it. But if you're just going to only talk to them about what you want to talk to them about, that's probably why most of the people in the comments are 40 and 50.
When I talk to people that's younger, like in their 20s, I always ask what's their core to life. I always ask what is their purpose? How do they see themselves in the next 20 years if they're here? They do want family and kids. They just don't want to, they don't want this, what they call this struggle type thing. They do want marriage and kids. They do that, because they having sex. So they definitely want a child at some point. And it is good to listen to them to get where they're coming from. I have grandchildren that's coming up that's going to be in this world. But the thing is, gotta get them to stay out of debt, though. No young people stay in debt. But they do want marriage and kids.
That is very true. That is, you know what? that point that you just made, that's a topic that I feel like if everybody wants to keep being like, we're trying to talk about this to help the next generation, then talk about financial literacy, because that's where they're lacking. There is not a surplus. There is not a surplus of financial literacy. There is a surplus of who should be dominant, who should be submissive, who should be having a baby, who should be married, who should be like everybody's talking about gender roles and relationships. The younger millennials and Gen Z, that's not their thing though. They need help with financial literacy. 20-year-olds need to understand how to file taxes. They need to understand what it takes to buy a home. They don't know what property tax is, bro. Like those are the things that would actually be helpful. And it's like when we're repetitively just talking about like when we should be married and when a woman should be quiet and bring her man peace. Well the 22-year-old's not. She's not going to be quiet. She's not going to bring a man peace. She's out here singing Sexy Red, and that's cool. Just help her get her taxes straight, though. Let's be realistic.
Let me add something to that, right?